Hello, hello, everybody. It's right. It's art night. Welcome to the Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton. I'm so glad to see everybody tonight. It's Saturday night. It is art night. We're so happy that you are here tonight to join us for this amazing show tonight. So let's say hello to all of our viewers. Hello, everybody there on Rumble. So nice to see you. Hello, everyone on Pilled with your wonderful memes. Hi, everybody on YouTube and everybody on X. Hello, hello. Make sure you say hello so that we can all say hello back to you. Do some homework, everyone. Make sure you are hitting those buttons, those likes, follows, and shares. We want the whole world to see the amazing talents of our guests, right? So I appreciate that so much. I want to thank you ahead of time. And please help support the show. We love your subscriptions, your rants, your pills in all their forms, your tips, your cash apps, and more. Thank you so much. And helping the show go on with 5 nights a week. All right, everybody, you know so much about my group. I love Artist Corner. We're expanding out. We are on Truth. We are on X. We are now on Pilled. So I'm so excited because I get to highlight an artist every single day. And what really matters, whether you're an artist or an art lover, those likes on Artist of the Day, those likes, those shares, those comments, those all get tallied up. And we have an amazing tribute, which we call Artist of the Week. So we're going to load this up and give them a shout out today. Our first one up, so exciting about this. Our first one up is the amazing Creek Cat. We just absolutely so excited that she is our artist over there on Truth, everybody. Just want to give a huge congratulations to Creek Cat. Just absolutely amazing. Breaking records over there on Truth Social. This is the highest number I've ever seen. That's because you guys are all getting active, and I'm so thankful for that. So a huge congratulations to our Truth artist. Again, if you're over there on Truth, you can follow her on Crick Cat. And we want to just give you a huge shout out for our Artist of the Week. All right. That is our Artist of the Week on Truth, everybody. But guess what? We also have an Artist of the Week over here on X. So exciting. We've got to say hello and congratulations to Molly McFrawley. I love that. Molly McFrawley, you are Artist of the Week over there on X. You guys want to go give her a follow, you can do so. And a huge congratulations to both of these guys if you're following them. That would be appreciative. But congratulations to Molly. You are Artist of the Week over there on X. Right? Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that is so exciting, you guys. Make sure, like I said, go give them a follow or a congratulations. I sure do appreciate that so much. So much. Oh my gosh. And a huge shout out. Thank you so much for catching my attention on that. Let's throw this up here right now as well, too, because guess what? We've got a donation already. Let's just say a huge thank you to Mitchell over there. That is awesome. Gifting shades. That is so cool. Right? Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mitchell, for gifting shades over there on Pill. That is so exciting. Thank you so much for your support. Woo! Starting off the night just great. Wow. I just want to do a little quick thank you to him. Real quick, guys. He's coming in hot. That's right, guys. Coming in hot. Hold on. Let me just give him a little comment. Whoops, I keep hitting the wrong button. Mitchell, I'm trying to say thank you so much to you. There we go. I was want to just give him a little meme back over there with a wonderful thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is absolutely phenomenal. Love it. Thank you guys so much for helping to support the show. That is awesome, right? The shades, the phones, the pills, the whatever EMPs. You guys are awesome over there. I just love it. So thank you so much for that. All right, guys, that is just cool. Getting the night started off fantastically. So tonight, you guys are going to be super excited because our guest is one of our Artist Corner family members over there on X. A newer family member. We're so excited to have him, right? Tonight, we welcome the acclaimed artist Steve Johnson, whose work is deeply rooted in the breathtaking landscapes of California's Central Coast. surrounded by the beauty of ocean vistas, rolling hills, and ranch lands from an early age. Stephen developed a profound desire to capture the essence of God's creation through visual expression. His art invites viewers to slow down, reflect, and truly see the divine hand woven into the natural world, blending his technical mastery with spiritual depth in a way that is both timeless and moving. Stephen's artistic journey is one shaped by passion, discipline, and rich influences spanning generations. From childhood sketches inspired by 1960 comics books to the dramatic fantasy illustrations of artists like Frank Frazetta. His style evolved into a refined appreciation for classic illustrators such as N.C. Wyeth, Howard Pyle, and the great Victorian masters. After honing his craft through traditional hand-drawn techniques and achieving success in commercial illustration, Steve has devoted his work to fine art that reflects his spiritual growth and biblical themes. His signature style, an elegant fusion of Victorian beauty and illustrative storytelling. Everyone, do me a favor and please welcome my amazing guest tonight, Steve Johnson.
Thank you.
You're welcome. First and foremost, I am so excited that you are here, and welcome to our Artist Corner family. You just hit it running. I am so excited about that. That is absolutely awesome. So thank you so much for that.
It is awesome.
Yeah. I love it. Love it. So tell us a little bit. I know I gave a great description about what you are, but tell everybody about a little bit about this journey. What got you into art? Was it family? Was it just seeing breathtaking work? When did you start, working on your art?
The earliest I can remember is me and my older brother sitting in front of the TV in this early 60s. And I was drawing comic books. We made up our own characters, our own stories, and everything else. And I fell in love with the style from the comic book artists and everything, and just started to work on it. One of the basics that when I was teaching, I taught for a short time, and was the fact that what makes you an artist is your desire. The rest is exercise. So once that desire is discovered inside, then it's exercise. So my process of exercise started probably about in second grade and just continued. It took a couple of U-turns, fell off the road a couple of times, but it brought me back, because once you realize it's inside you, it's going to stay. So anyway, comic books wanted to be my biggest draw, or what I wanted to do. I got a lot of attention in elementary school from being able to draw, and that kind of spurred you on.
Right.
Then things happened in my life, and my life kind of changed. And it's not that I gave up on drawing; I just put it aside. And then, due to a couple of accidents, actually led me to continue and to do what I do.
That is awesome. Don't you love, happy little accidents in the art world? That's what we call them. But I'll tell you what, they can shape a piece we make. They can shape a pathway we take.
Big time.
Right. And I absolutely love that. So thank heavens for happy little accidents. And people are already commenting on your amazing studio. They're like, man, he's rolling in all set. And I'm like, right.
This is actually a barn that I'm blessed to be able to rent for a pretty good price. And the biggest thing is I share it with a couple of possums that are housed right over here. And they're very friendly animals. We actually watched one mother give birth. She had 13 little ones, because they're a marsupial.
Right.
And so like a kangaroo. So she gave birth to 13 of them. We watched them grow up, and eventually they fall off as the mother goes out and walks around. Anyway, so I've got the possums and share the barn with. The skunks are actually underneath the shed over on the other corner. And I can get within probably about 4 feet of Sally, but she trusts me.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't spray. I watched her babies last year. I saw she had 4 little ones. And with skunks, the male doesn't stay around. It's the female is the only one that will raise them. The father will come and then he'll leave. Anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
I
I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't want to sidetrack and take off on a road, so I'll try to stay on focus.
No, that's okay. I love it because, you know, I have quite a lot of critters. I always have. I'm usually adopting something left and right. You know, I've had, there was one time when I lived in northern Arizona, we lived off grid, you know, 40 acres, and just people either, abandoned animals. They ended up with us. I had a turkey that was she just in love with sleeping on top of the barn. We had pigs, we had chickens, we had owls, we had dogs, cats, horses, cows, you name it. I'm like, oh my gosh. But you're right. I mean, my family kind of teases me a little bit about, you know, how Snow White sits in the forest and all the animals come, you know, like, right. So I'm listening to your possum and your skunk story, and I love it. That is so awesome. That's awesome. That's great info, right? Backstory. And they think it's absolutely cool. I was so excited. So, tell me again, how many years have you been in? I know you dabble this, but how many years have you been really focused on your journey right now?
Probably there was a time I was a park aide at Hearst Castle. Do you know where Hearst Castle is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, the family ranch, actually, my great-great-grandfather was a Portuguese whaler that got off in San Simeon and homesteaded there, and his 3 sons were all cowboys for the Hearst.
Oh, my gosh.
And and the family ranch is actually at the end of San Simeon Creek. Anyway, so where was I going with that? Oh, when I was working at Hearst Castle, it occurred to me, okay, let me backtrack. That happy accident. I broke my hip unloading a truck when I was 23 years old. I was working in a lot of grocery stores. Anyway, the result of that work-related injury, it was a bad insurance company. But anyway, they do have to retrain you for something. Finally, after 5 years later, after all this stuff, they did send me to a junior college to learn to be a technical illustrator.
Nice.
Technical illustration before CAD. CAD was just coming around in the mid 80s. It was all hand done. So I learned from these guys that were just experts. They could draw a brake drum that you could look like it's real.
Right.
And they would use airbrush and zipatone screens, and it was all on Mylar. Anyway, I learned to do that. Awesome. Unfortunately, being raised in Cambria, which was a small town, and then living in
Cambria.
Do you know it?
It's some of my favorite wine country in the world. I'll tell you one of my favorite restaurants is the one that's right off the coast, and you can literally look at the ocean. My 2 favorite places in California are San Simeon and Cambria. So I'm all excited. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I mean that San Simeon Bay is where my grandfather got off, actually, on that point up there. And what restaurant was it? Brambles or no? Brambles not like it.
I think it started with a moon. Okay, let me see.
Moonstone Beach.
Yes,
it's on
Moonstone.
Yeah. Well, there's Sea Chest is there, but they primarily fish and stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm working at Hearst Cal. Anyway, so they trained me to be a technical illustrator. I couldn't deal with San Diego. Moved back to Cambria. Got a job at Hearst Castle. Kind of put the artwork aside for a few years. Then things, I just woke up because I did get that training in technical illustration. And then I just felt like the Lord was telling me, this is your gift, use it. So I did. I started to commit myself more and more to artwork. And it slowly built to a point where I thought I had arrived, only to find out I didn't. And everything kind of fell apart. But I continued. I did various jobs or whatever, but always would go back to artwork.
Right.
The reason I'm able to devote the time that I am now is Social Security. Allows me now to commit my time to this. Nice. And a blessing in our rent's fairly reasonable here. So we're able to make it work.
Nice.
And I'm blessed with a wife that is an artist herself. She's a musician.
Nice.
and so she understands what drives me, and
Mm-hmm.
she actually allows, not allows, that's the wrong word. She goes with and just gives me free reign to, do my artwork. Anyway.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna bug you because that's the thing about our artist corner. I would love to hear her music, and if she ever wants to come on, you just start putting that right in her ear because we love
Okay.
all sort of artists. But I'm
Okay.
like, okay, so I think this is great. You guys, I'm already excited because I'm like, I miss it. It's been well over a few decades that I have been there since I had the restaurants. It was
Yeah.
Cavalier. That's literally right there off the
Oh,
coast. I mean, it was just
yeah.
amazing, beautiful area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cambria has some of the best Chardonnay you guys will ever have in your life. I mean, it's just great. Now you got me all dreaming about
I
being
did.
on the coast with you
I
there,
did.
Steve.
I did some artwork for Harmony Cellars, which Harmony is a
Did
little
you?
town before you get to Cambria, in between Cayucas and Cambria, Harmony. And I did some work for. I saw that somebody wants to work at Hearst Castle.
Yeah.
I actually met Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac up there.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
I didn't meet Steven Spielberg, but he walked right by me.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name that was on Odd Couple? Jack Klugman, super nice guy. I talked to him. Bruce Dern, I didn't even know who he was, just like I didn't know who Lindsey Buckingham was. It was amazing. Anyway, whole different world. Anyway.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, just a real quick out. Sorry about this, guys. Just want to do a huge little shout out. Thank you for giving us the wonderful donation over there too. Thank you, RKJ. The man, you're lighting up. You can come anytime you want to. That's just thank you so much. You're good luck, Steve. Bring it on, my friend. That is awesome. But yeah, you do get to meet a lot of famous people over there. Because it's a great place. It's a wonderful area, great wines, great restaurants, and it's not necessarily in the cities, and it's in between Monterey, of course, and definitely LA. Just right there in the middle. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah. Hearst Corporation actually bought Sebastian's, which is in San Simeon itself. There's two San Simeons. There's San Simeon Acres, which is where Cavalier is, and then the actual town of San Simeon, which is where the pier is in the bay. And Hearst Corporation bought Sebastian's, which was the only piece of land they didn't own through there. And they've got a nice restaurant there. I haven't eaten there because I can't afford it, but they've got a nice restaurant that overlooks the bay there.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Isn't it great? Just love it so much. I just, I'm pretty excited. One of these days I will be able to be lucky to go back. And thank you guys. I'll give you guys huge shout outs. You guys are amazing over there on Pill. Just saying, I do see you guys. But I want to get on to some amazing artwork because I'll tell you what, you guys are going to be in so for a treat. And we're going to have way more discussions as we talk about this. But let's get this loaded up so you guys know where to even find him. Right. So please go and give him a huge follow if you're over there on X. He's absolutely amazing. Steve, are you on anything else besides X? Because I don't know places.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Okay. Same thing.
Yeah, well, no, it's Johnson 1259 on Instagram.
Nice. Absolutely nice. So if you guys want to follow him there too. Or you can just, I know we're streaming over there. You guys watching over there on X, and my family, my people, make sure that you guys give them some follow over there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So here we go. I had to start with this one because you use this even as your profile picture. Yeah. It is kind of your signature.
That's an interesting piece. That, okay, so I'm going to school in San Diego. I think I was 24, 25 years, no, 24, maybe almost 25 years old. And I'm doing the work of a technical illustration, which they would use different screens and stuff like that and reproduce the work and everything. So I did a drawing and I put that drawing on a Xerox machine and I put a Zipatone screen right over top of it and ran some prints on it. And that's what that is.
Wow.
The reason it looks different, it almost has an airbrush look to it, is because of that halftone screen. I don't know if you're familiar with that halftone screen, what that is.
Tell us.
It's a series of dots.
Oh, yes.
Before things were digital, any
Mm-hmm.
color, anything you saw that was printed was all dots, and it was done with screens,
Mm-hmm.
and so different densities and stuff like that. Anyway, this was just a fun piece. I think I was taking a class in production art, which is using rubber cement and X-Acto knives and moving type around and pictures around to make a cover for a book or a page for a magazine or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had an idea to try that. So
I love it. We have an artist over on Truth that I'm begging, and he tells me once he gets all settled that he's going to come over on X, because he
yeah.
has done so many masteries of, just pen and ink with, just like you said, just multiple different dots to create these unbelievable pieces like we are seeing right now from Steve
Well,
here.
I didn't send there's a couple of pieces that I did, and I was kind of, I did them a long time ago. Anyway, they were done with pointillism, which is I would take the rapidiograph, which are ink pens, and 3 different grades of them as far as the size of the dots. And I would create these images out of dots. It's a tedious process, but you can get this smooth look to it. Anyway.
Yeah, right. I agree. I agree with you guys. Isn't this an absolutely amazing piece? I am just like, wow. Right.
That right there, and I'll probably bring it up more than once. I was in the zone. I was in the place. Once you get into the zone, the way I describe it is it's you're firing on all cylinders. You're not aware of the time. Everything you're doing is perfect. It can come about in 15 minutes. It can take an hour and 15 minutes to come around. But once you're in that place, you're in the zone. You're just where everything is working. Your hand is doing what your brain wants it to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how long does a piece like this take to finish, though?
Oh, that one wasn't that long. That was just, I was just playing around.
Just playing around. Oh, just a couple of hours, right? We got to handle
that. I don't even think it was
really
that long, really.
Wow, yeah. I am the world's slowest artist. I mean, this is phenomenal, guys.
Well,
Look
I
at
am
that.
too. You'll find out I am too. But that piece was all in. It was just pencil, and so just different shades of pencil. So I just played with it.
Wow, absolutely, just phenomenal. I'm already in awe. This is just fantastic, right? It's great. Absolutely
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Man. All right, guys. Well, that is our first one, and here we go, right? Okay. Tell us about this sweet picture. Look at that smile. Oh my gosh, this is so great.
That was a study. This friend of mine a friend of ours wanted to have me do when the magi see this, or pardon me, the shepherds see the angels in heaven before the birth of the Savior. Right. This was going to be one of the characters in that piece. The piece never got done for one reason or another, but it never got finished. But I just wanted to have, because the Lamb of God. So right. I just played around with this drawing and intended to have him be one of the characters. Pardon me.
No problem.
In the picture. Yeah, he never did get to be in the picture, but I just had fun. Again, I was in that place where once you're there, it's hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did use some references for that. So the lamb is a different reference from the child, and I just picked up pieces and just played around with it and stuff like that.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. My gosh, that is just so beautiful. And it's just, I love that you keep talking about you in your zone. Artists tend to get that way. And it's like, next thing you know, half the night goes by because you're just, you're in depending, I guess, on how fast you work or how big your canvas is or whatever you're creating
Uh-huh.
on. But you do. You
Yeah.
know, is there certain music that you listen to, or you create in silence? How do you work?
Oh, me? As far
Yeah.
as music?
Hmm.
Sometimes I haven't, my music, my system died on me a couple of days ago, so I haven't been able to listen to anything. It depends. I mean, sometimes I'll be listening to country music, older country music, um, older rock music, whatever comes up.
Fine.
But yeah, music has something to do with it, but it's just a matter of getting into that place in your head to where, um, I could, when that piece right there, I could just feel it, when I was doing it, what I wanted to show. And it's a shame the piece never got done. It was my fault. I was trying to work outside my comfort zone, and I really didn't know how to do the techniques that I wanted to use. And I wanted to airbrush the entire thing and do all this stuff, and it just didn't work out. But anyway,
Phenomenal.
yeah.
Phenomenal. I agree, guys. This is really beautiful. We're just starting. I
You know,
I love this smile, though. I mean, that just takes this whole piece to a whole nother level. Because look, I mean, as you're talking about what this is referencing, the Lamb of God, but look at this huge smile. Like, here I am, Lord. Right
yeah.
here I am with my beautiful lamb. I mean, that is so awesome.
Well, I mean, you got to look at, the shepherds were there and they saw the
Mhm.
angels, and they got revealed the truth of what was going to happen and everything. But
Right.
but but this one, when I teach, what I really my basic is to have somebody begin to draw what they see,
Hmm.
because it's when you can get and the term to use for that, and I learned this from down in San Diego and stuff, is called rendering.
Yeah.
Rendering is being able to draw what you see. The more you do that, and this goes for everybody. Remember that exercise thing I was talking about? Um,
Hmm.
the more you do that, the file cabinets you're creating in your mind of accurate representation of an animal, of a glass or a can of beans or whatever you're putting there, the more you rehearse it in your brain and the more communication between your eye and your hand that you get, you'll be able to pull up images like that, and be comfortable doing that. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
No,
yeah,
you are
yeah.
right. That's a teacher speaking to you. Exactly. Right. You got to
It's
visualize. Hmm.
yeah, it's the masterpiece will come later. But if you fill your head with this skill to be able to render what you see, then you take those pieces, you'll see it later in some of these other book illustrations I did. Then you can take these pieces and put them all together to tell a story.
Right.
And isn't that, as an illustrator, that's what illustrators do, is we take words and turn it into a picture.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I just love this. Absolutely fantastic. That is a beautiful piece. All right. Tell us about this piece. And I've got them all over the place, my friend.
This one, and this still isn't done. And when it gets done, it isn't going to be like this because I've already changed it. This is the visit of the Magi, which was not at the birth of the Savior. It could have been 2 years later. We know that because Herod commanded all the infants in Bethlehem to be killed, and he said 2 and under.
Hmm.
So the Magi didn't show up when the shepherds saw the stars or they saw the angels. It could have been 2 years later. So this is a picture of, and you can't see the main part of this, but this is the visit of the Magi, and it was probably in a house, because if you'll read what Mark, I think it's Mark that talks about it and gives a little bit more detail. But or was it Matthew? Anyway, but they go into a house, and we have the idea there was only 3. All there was 3 gifts. There could have been, it would be insane to go all the way from Babylon to Nazareth following a star, which what Magi meant. That's what they did.
Hmm.
To carry gold, and along with the other things that they gave to the family, to carry that long and just 3 people. No, there was probably soldiers with them. They were probably more than the 3 is only the 3 gifts.
Right.
And the
Right.
3 gifts mean something. Each gift means something. Anyway, back to this picture. As I was working on this, and this was when I was a resident artist at Studios on the Park in Paso Robles, and I had this piece, and I would just continue. I'd go in at like 4:30, take a bus from where we live in Atascadero to Paso, and then I'd work till 9 o'clock, and my wife would come pick me up. But I would just get in the zone, and so these ideas would come. This came, I thought, so Mary's holding the infant up, and they're coming to worship the Lord. Some are not worshiping, some are kind of bothered and whatever, which is how, which is kind of, I won't go into the allegories why I did that. But anyway, the reason for the light in his hand is the light that's being bounced through the room. And it's coming to rest right in his hand. And that's a picture of when you come to an intimate relationship with Jesus Christ and understand that he is the light.
That's right.
And that's what this piece, I just was lost that night and playing around with pastels and stuff. And I thought, well, this is cool. I'm going to just try that.
Right. Another pastels artist. That's funny, you guys. Oh, that's awesome.
I saw what's her name last night.
Right. Yep, exactly. I mean, something I've not worked with, and you guys are just creating amazing magic with this, but I know, isn't this awesome? Not only is that fantastic in his story and his descriptions of his pieces, just absolutely awesome. And I like that, JJ. It does almost look embossed like a 3D. Just fantastic.
That's sitting covered somewhere. I probably ought to bring it out and everything, but yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely. And I love the whole, that could be great for the whole Be the Light. That I'm every single morning, guys, on all of my social medias, I am sharing out Be the Light, but this is a perfect representation of that, right? Love that. Love that you put the light in the hand. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, if you want to use it, go ahead.
Well, when you see my good morning post and you see me put Be the Light, just tag it in and I'll share it out, Steve. Right? Okay. I love it when you guys do that. So thank you so much. All right, let's get on to something a little bit different. We got some more of those coming up here, but he just does so many different things. I thought you guys would enjoy this one here too. Look at this. Look at this baby. Where did you come up with this idea, Steve?
That was okay. So as an illustrator, an illustrator takes words and turns it into a 2-dimensional picture. So this was a song my wife's daughter wrote. She's a singer in Nashville, and she about a princess and a fox. And it deals with fear. Both of them have a thing with fear. The princess is afraid of foxes. She's afraid of nothing, but foxes scare her. This fox is troubled by little girls that run through his dreams and want to catch him. So I have these words. It was a very short paragraph. So what do I do with it? So I'm in my studio when I used to have a different studio on the property we own, and we don't own it, rent. Right. That we rent. Anyway, I was playing around with ideas, and I thought, well, this came to me. And so I used our bed, actually. Well, that the headboard isn't from our bed, but the pillows are, and the bedspread is. The fox I drew. Remember, like I said, the more you draw, the more you render. So I rendered. I got a folder full of drawings I did of foxes till I had it so down pat what a fox looks like. Okay.
Right.
Which I would love to have a fox, but they're hard to get. And
not here.
Well, there's 2 types. There's ones that are only one generation removed from being wild, and they're still very wild. And then there's ones that are so many generations away from being wild, they're just like a pet. Anyway,
my
Yeah.
gosh. That is, well, I love foxes. Don't get me wrong. Foxes
Yeah.
are really, really beautiful. And
Yeah.
we have three that live here, but
Oh,
I
you
don't know
do?
what happened. Yeah, I live on the East Coast now. And so I live in
Yeah.
a forested area. I don't know what
Uh-huh.
happened to mom, but we ended up with these three kits that, and they're just in the back area, and they're not come up and let me pet you kind of thing, but they were
Right.
probably, I don't know, 6 months or so. Never
Yeah.
saw mom again. But I have chickens, and I used to let my chickens
Oh,
free roam. Well,
yeah. No, that, yeah.
that's right. They took them all out.
Well, you know
But I
what?
love it. Love the
Possums will do,
foxes. Go
possums
ahead.
will do that too.
Right?
And
Isn't that
raccoons.
crazy? Mm-hmm. It's
Raccoons
right.
will. Yeah.
But I can't blame them because I mean, they're hungry, and the
Yeah.
chickens are just running around. Now my chickens are completely inside a fence that they got a lot of
Yeah.
room to free roam. But we had to put that in it. But they were so sly. That's why they're called the sly fox, because I would see one and the other two were somewhere hiding. And I'm like, oh man, and every day
Mhm.
it was like, or every few days I'm like, okay. But they were so beautiful because they're classic red foxes,
Mhm.
just beautiful. So. And I love this because now that you're telling me about this, I'm like, have you ever thought about writing children's books?
There's actually, uh, this one never came to fruition or never got finished. But that was what started me on the illustration. It was another step on illustration.
That's right.
Have I ever thought of it?
I want to think
I've
about
got probably not really. I've got a story my dad wrote that probably be one of the ones I'm going to work on after I get this Bible scene done. Um, yeah, I don't know if I would write the story.
that.
I just like to take the words and turn it into pictures. But anyway,
Right? I think
yeah,
that's an awesome. Oh, did you? Okay, so I love that. So I love it because that's another one of our artist things. But if you ever do, I'm just encouraging you. I have another artist that does, amazing funny cats. I'm like, write
yeah,
a book. Kids would love this. And this
yeah.
is such an amazing. Is this also pastels?
Okay, this was the beginning of this was the second or third page of this book. So this was beginning to really push me into using more pastels. This was, I'll tell you my techniques later, but this one wasn't quite as much. Yeah, this is pastels with, I work in, the technique I use is I'll work with a hard pastel pencil typically to get my colors down to
Right.
understand where I'm going with it. Then I'll go with the little hard brick pastels to add the color even more. Then on top of that, I'll use some really soft pastels, which are really vibrant, which punches it up.
Right.
Then on top of that, then I'll go with colored pencil. I stay away from Prismacolor because there's a wax content to them that shows. I can't remember the name of them, but there's some other brands that don't have any wax in them. And I use those to detail everything. The lady that spoke yesterday, I heard her talking about her process. And when she gets into that place where she's close to finishing it, and everything's coming in, the little details and stuff like that. What I call that is when you come to the finesse point, when I'm finessing the final piece,
Right.
you got to be careful. You don't want to go too far with that. But it's a mindset, a place that you can get where everything you're doing is just adding the right top, just the light to it and everything. See, like on this, oh, you can't, the pillows on there with that red. See how I really hit the red on the end of it for the contrast? And then I've taken a brush. It's not, a lot of times I'll take just a regular brush and I'll brush the pastels because I always wanted to be an airbrush artist. I did it a little bit, but I wasn't as good as I should have been. Anyway, so you just drag the pastel with a brush and it gives you that kind of smooth look. Yeah.
And I think that's what I love about our group so much, because everybody has their own unique thing, you know, and they're just bringing it because I have, you know, I love how beautiful this looks. I also love how vibrant that was. I have never seen anything like that. You know, I was like, so it's amazing because you guys have your own beautiful, unique styles that just scream who you guys are. And this is fantastic. We are loving the Fox.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know when okay.
No, go ahead.
When I was a resident artist, that was the one that sold the most because the Fox drew people in. Especially, my biggest clients were girls that were probably about 16 to, or pardon me, 14 to 18 years old, and their father would typically buy that piece for them because they just loved it. But anyway, yeah.
I love it. I do have a question for you. They want to know what sizes are your pieces on average?
Okay, that Fox was what was it? 12 by 20, 12 by 16 maybe.
Okay.
I think it's 12 by 16. Yeah. It depends. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. So tell us about this one.
I've got prints of all of them. I actually did. I took in when I thought things were going to work, and they didn't. But I took. That's a long story. But anyway, I took and invested some money in some prints, and I've got them all here in the barn. They're just sitting here. But so if anybody wanted one, just let me know.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. That is awesome. Look at this piece. Oh my heavens. I had a question too, because as we get onto some of these, I don't know when, you know, these women, and you guys will see a few different too. Do you have people pose for you? Are you finding images that you use as reference?
Yeah. Well, this one was, this was a reference. This was one of the characters for The Woman with the Issue of Blood, which was a Bible scene that I did. I was commissioned to do, and it got bigger than I think she wanted. But anyway, she was one of the ones standing in back of Jesus, and there's an allegory why and I did that and what this look was. This is a combination of different photographs and stuff like that. The background is actually, I did this while I was at the Art Association, Pastoral Art Association, and I'm sitting there, and it was a long day, and nobody came in, so I was drawing it. That's the wall that I was drawing, and I put that image in front of the wall. Does that make sense? You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that the background is real. She is from a couple of photo references that I had that I just pull pieces. And you see, when I work on something like this one,
right?
A lot of time, well, I didn't on this one, but what I do is I start with a really hard pencil, and I map out where I'm going with it with that hard lead. Mm-hmm. I don't overcommit. It's a process. I do until I feel comfortable with what I've got with fine lines. That's when I'll add the rest of the softer lines or the softer pencil, because you can't go back.
No,
you've got to be comfortable with the hard 2H pencil or 4H pencil or whatever. And if it's working with that, then you build. And those softer pencils that you're going to use, you won't even see those fine lines anymore.
Right.
See, there's stuff going on that drawing that if you were to take a magnifying glass, you would see a lot of stuff that was done that you don't see now.
Right. And I'm over here. This one, you just lit up the chat so much on this. But right, that's why I'm so glad you guys are noticing too, because even the details and the, you know, in the pictures behind her, right? If you guys, I wish you could zoom in the details in her hands and her feet. I mean, it is just amazing. Oh, just phenomenal.
That's what I mean about the exercise. I exercise by looking at what I see. And if it doesn't, after I've drawn it, if it doesn't look like I see it, I ask myself why, and I look deeper. Why doesn't it look like it is? It could be perspective. It could be the light. It could be, you know, one of the keys is turn your brain off when you're drawing, because your brain's going to tell you to take the easy way out. See what I mean?
Yes.
If you've got a can of soup in front of you that you're drawing, your brain is always going to want to take the easy way out because it's too difficult to render that thing exactly. You got to turn your brain off. You got to look at it deeper. Where does this line meet this line? Where does this do that and that? Anyway.
Right. Just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Thank you guys I know you guys are lighting it up over there on Pilled. I see you guys. I'm thanking you and you guys with your wonderful comments and compliments. I'm trying to keep up with all of you guys' amazing stuff. Thank you so much for all the wonderful things you guys are saying. I agree. It's just unbelievable. Right? So excited. Right? They're loving it. And we're just basically, right? We're just all still getting started, but it is absolutely phenomenal. And all kinds of different themes, everybody. I mean, I love this too. It's just amazing. So tell me about this piece.
Okay. I did one of the children's books that I did that got published was a Christmas tease, and that's a whole different thing. But anyway, I used a mother and daughter as models that we went to church with in Cambria. And I asked them, would they pose for me? Well, they did. And this was Priscilla's dad. He was actually a sales manager at Sunset Honda, but he's also a musician and really good musician. So he wanted me to do an album cover for him, which I did. We went and this is right outside of Morro Bay, and I just shot some photographs of him with his guitar. And I do know how to do type. I don't like doing type. I don't like doing logos. I can. But he wanted me to do it to finish off the piece,
Right.
And what was weird, he wanted me then to do the production part of it, which the production art is the photographs with the labels, with the name of the song, this, that. That's production art. And I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do Procreate, which is on Apple, but I learned how to do it. So actually, I was blessed to take some free classes at the Apple studio here in San Luis Obispo. But anyway.
I am loving this. Yeah. I'm loving this. Look at not only the tone, just the beautiful, wonderful ocean that we're looking at, the rendering in the sky. You did so great with this and everything. Right. It's ocean blue, right? So that's the title. And it's awesome. I love it how it's trapped inside this, circle formation, but, just really rendered and done so well. Is this pastels as well?
Yeah, this is where I was really starting to move forward. This is the technique that I use now. What I do is I will either use a watercolor or an acrylic ink wash.
Okay.
Initially, and then draw on top of that.
Nice.
So what causes a separation and everything is the wash to begin with. And the colors are kind of a little bit different on the image, the photograph. I should have sent you some really good images, I guess. But anyway, it looks better in color. But anyway, a better color. But I do a line drawing, and then I drop the watercolor wash in there, and then I build it with the pastels on top of it.
Nice. Very nice. I love that. It turned out phenomenal. Right? Just beautiful. There was a question, as I love it. Dotta's always got great questions over. Thank you, Dotta. It's like, what's your favorite medium?
It depends. It depends on where I'm at the time and what's near. I wasn't just a little while ago. I was mostly into doing charcoal. I was playing around with that because that was so much fun. Like that? Favorite medium, pastel.
Pastels.
It just depends. If I'm at Barnes and Noble's drawing whatever, it's just a pencil, actually.
Right. Right. Well, and I love that you venture in so many different mediums. It's hard to choose sometimes, especially when you're doing so well in so many different forms. Tell me about this.
This
This
was
blew my mind.
okay. This was, remember when I talked about Hearst Castle and everything?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the Lord telling me to get back into my artwork because I wasn't finished. This was in the east end of Cambria, the old part of Cambria, where my great grandmother's house is still there. But anyway, a different story. This was a flower stand sent right up by the Bank of America, where they would, I forget her name, but anyway, she would sell flowers. And this was one of the girls that worked for her. So it occurred to me as I'm thinking, well, I got to get back into art. I got to really see what I can do. So I asked her, would you mind posing for me? And she didn't. And so I took the photographs. I don't know, I shot like 5 or 6, no more than that. But I came up with this one and just rendered this. This is all colored pencil, actually. This is before I started doing pastel.
Unbelievable. When I first saw this, everyone, I thought this was a photo. And I had to really like zoom in because I was like, what? And this is colored pencil. Unbelievable.
But again, it goes back to drawing what you see and just continually doing it and being so adept at rendering that I can put all these pieces together. You see what I mean? I think anybody can do it.
Right.
I think anybody can do it. It's just, don't try to create a masterpiece on the first try. Work on your skills, your exercise your ability to render.
Right.
Well, we can talk later about it, but if you ever study the illustrators of the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, these guys were masters at doing of composition, because that's what they did. They did a lot of it.
That's right. Yeah. I know I have taken so many art history classes and so forth as well too, that, you know, it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing what they, you know, have learned and what they have accomplished. But like we were saying last night, you know, nobody starts out that way. We all start out basically struggling, you know. I mean, I don't know. I know a few that I think were born that way. You know, you guys know who I'm talking about. But I know I didn't. That's the point. We were talking about this last night. I'm like, when I first started drawing, everyone, I just call it throw up on a page. That should just be the title, you know. But I keep those because I'm like, look at all this time. Look what, you know, where I am now, right? And so that's the thing about it. It is really, you know, it's time, guys. It's, you know, dedication, desire, but we don't always all start out great. And maybe some of you did. I did not start out great.
Again, it's back to the desire. If you have the desire, it's exercise. The rest of it is exercise.
That's right. That's right. And I agree. See, everybody is agreeing with me. Absolutely thought this was a photo too.
Oh.
Now, is this Prismacolor color pencils?
Yeah, this was Prismacolor because I wasn't that used to colored pencil. And I was kind of amazed at how it turned out. This actually sold when I needed the money, when things were going bad in my life. There was I won't go into it, but things just kind of fell apart. And I sold this one fairly cheap. This one and a couple other ones that I had done. And yeah, that's all I got is that photograph of it left. It's in somebody's house in Cambria.
Right, you guys, I know it is sold. Maybe you should make prints or something from the, I don't know, because, well, I guess it's already gone. You'd only have the photograph to make prints, but I know you're lighting up on the chats on all 4 networks right now, guys. I am grabbing your amazing comments. It is phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
Wow, thanks. Anyway, yeah. I think she saw it too. The girl, I can't remember her name, the one that posed for it. She saw the picture, and you know, I needed $400 and I got $400 for it. So,
right, that is awesome. That is just amazing. I'm so glad you guys love this one. But I am just so excited. Happy accident, perhaps. I don't know, but it is phenomenal work, you guys. Thank you so much for this. Right?
Thank you.
Just loving it. Loving it. Man. So exciting. I'm glad. But yeah, amazing, guys. Go out and give it a try. Now tell me about this.
Okay. this is still here too. I don't know. I have no idea what happened with this, but well, not. I have the picture still, but I was a commission piece. This is fairly recent too. This lady, and that was after I did the album cover. This lady that a good friend of mine and associate pastor did a funeral for her ex-husband, and she wanted to pay him, and he said no, but he knew I had needs with the yard. We live on about a third of an acre, and I don't have time anyway. So she came over and cut some of the grass. Okay. Then she saw the picture. She went in the barn and saw that picture of the album cover that I did. And she said, anyway, so it evolved into this. Her son, which is in the forefront with this little baby, which is her grandson, when he was holding the baby after it was born, he felt the presence of his dad, who passed away, which is on the right-hand side. Oh, nice. And on the left was his brother. He felt the presence of, as he's holding the baby, of his brother who died of a heroin overdose. And so she just gave me that much information. So I started to think about it. And I think I went to Barnes and Nobles in San Luis or whatever and just started to work out these ideas. And this is what I came up with. She liked it, but then, and she paid me for part of it. And then she still owed a little bit of money on it. And then she just broke contact. And I didn't know where she went. So I've got it here, but
do you?
Anyway,
it's just precious. It is precious. You know, it's just amazing. That is rendered so well. That baby is just so precious, man.
And that was all pastel. That was pastel. That the big thing with that one was I started to work on board birch with the gesso covering, which I'd never really worked on before. So this was the first time I tried the gesso and over on the birch.
Yeah.
And it takes pastel really well.
Nice. As long as it's got a good gesso first.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. And I sprayed this too. I do spray my pastels because mine are a combination, not just totally pastel, but they've got colored pencil and everything else. So I'm not really that worried about them changing color, and they haven't. Right. So I do spray them a little bit. I know there's a lot of pastel artists that don't spray them, but they're total pastel artists too. I'm not. I don't paint with pastel. I draw with them.
Right. Yeah. And the only ones that I know, like oil pastels. I don't know about the other ones yet. But now, after you guys, I'm probably going to be looking into it. In fact, I was looking at them up last night. But I love me some oil pastels. Just love the vibrance of that. But yes, I think this is a beautiful tribute. And I just wanted to put out this too. Right. Salty said the triangle framing is so unique. Don't you love that, guys? Because it adds some dimension to the piece too, right? Something that, and they're coming out of that triangle, right? As it's leaning forward. It is a really awesome choice.
Oh, thank you.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
Right. Unbelievable talent. That's right, Nancy. I agree. We are so excited. Excited.
Thanks.
Man, just amazing.
Thanks. But that was actually I had this one here because of she supplied the photographs. So there wasn't a whole lot of stuff to work with on this one. His arm was really kind of hard to put together because the photographs were all chopped up and everything. So I had to go back to my anatomy books and stuff like that. I even posed with my arm and everything to make that complete and everything. But it came out.
It's awesome. We're loving this. You guys, I just am so excited. You guys are loving this as well too, right? And I'm just, again, thank you so much for the wonderful compliments, right? I agree. He is a phenomenal
thank
artist.
You.
I think that about all of you guys. That's my word. I use that word so much that my wonderful moderator, JJ, he's my video guy. I love my JJ. He made a video. It was phenomenal because that is just what I think of you guys. And this is why I love the Artist Corner, because I get to go into this every single day and see your guys' amazing talents and share them with the world. Just phenomenal. See?
Yeah.
Oh. Awesome. So this must be the study, because you have several, and we're going to get to this. This must be who you're talking about, her and her daughter.
Yeah. This
Nice.
is Priscilla. And she, the way this came about, and I didn't send you any of my sketches, which I kind of wish I had now, I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so John Stevens, who wrote the short story, and he gave it to me. We know each other for years. And anyway, he gave me the short story and asked me if I would illustrate it. And this is where she's holding, it involves a little girl. Okay. It involves a teapot and a little girl that wants to have a tea party with her stuffed animals. And this teapot is priceless. Anyway, she takes the teapot, goes upstairs, and has a tea party with her stuffed animals. And I think more pictures will show up. It'll make more sense. And Mom discovers that the teapot's gone. She plays a trick on her. She calls her, Ori, I think was her name, runs to the shower to hide. And then Mom goes up, and that's one of the pictures you'll see too. Mom goes up to the kid's room and sees the teapot with the stuffed animals around it. She plays a dirty trick. She takes broken pieces of pottery and takes the teapot away and puts a book right in it. Anyway, this is towards the end of it where she's making up, and she made some scones so they can have scones together.
I love that. I have one of those, because I was like, okay, I have to pick only so many, but so I do have one of those. I love that. Just amazing. Oh my gosh. Isn't this awesome, everyone? I don't know where that one is on the thing, but you guys, this little tea party that he's talking about, it's in the next few pictures, and you guys are going to see with the amazing little stuffed animals. I'm so happy that you included that. And just awesome.
One thing about illustrators, and I could do a whole thing just on illustrators, how I'm just totally drawn by what they do. This was a common thing done by Lendecker and then by Norman Rockwell, who was after Lendecker.
That's right.
But this circle pattern, the circle, yeah, they would use that often.
Yes.
To separate everything. And so I thought I'd play with that idea.
Exactly. On Christmas, right before Christmas, I did a shout out to Norman Rockwell and it themes that were themed Christmassy. But that whole Santa that we all know, that it didn't necessarily start with him, but he's the one that really sunk it in.
He did.
Post, right? You see it on the post, right? And you would see this circle behind him as the characters were kind of coming out of that frame. And I love that. I'm really glad that you are continuing that tradition.
The thing about Rockwell, it's really too bad. He never felt he was good enough.
Right? And he was phenomenal.
He never felt he was good enough. He always felt he was lacking. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a better word. Magnificent, you guys. I use spectacular. I use phenomenal.
Oh, this one?
No, they're kind of teasing me a little bit about phenomenal, but in a good way. But that's what I feel about all of you guys. That's why I use these words, because I do think that you guys are phenomenal, spectacular, magnificent, and so forth. But yes, and I do think that Rockwell was unbelievably talented, in so many things. So many things. So tell us about this. Same family, right?
Yeah, this is actually, I think this is the third page. This is where they're discussing that they're going to have a Christmas tea party. Oh, this picture. This was a tough one because, the story, John hands me, it's only like 4 pages long. And this paragraph is about her, collecting milk in the snow or in the valley or whatever. So how do I render that? How do I make sense of that? Why John put that in there was something that I don't know, whatever. But notice how the milk truck is between her legs, covered by the blanket. Well, the blanket is the snow that he's driving through, and you'd have to read the story to see what sense that makes of it. But it was tough. It took a lot of sketches to finally come to what I could do, how to make it work and how to make it make sense. I got into the zone with this one for sure. This is where conversing, and she's telling her to get ready for the Christmas party that they're going to have, tea party.
Amazing. Don't you just love it? I just think it's awesome. You guys love this too. I agree. I'm trying to catch up with all of your amazing, wonderful compliments. Oh, I agree. He says, Frosty, I agree with you. He says, this is a high level degree of difficulty done extremely well. I think so. I think so. How long did these pieces take you? This one?
Well, this one took a while because we were going through some stuff, and it was like, I could only come back to it and then be, 6 hours on it, 3 hours on it, and then I'd be a week away from it. If I were to say accurately how long that took, it probably took, with the sketch and everything, it probably took about 3 weeks, maybe.
Nice.
3 weeks. If I were to do it, okay, it took longer than that. But if I were to do it with no other distractions, it would take about 3 weeks.
Wow. Love that. I understand that kind of detail. I really do. I work really large, and, I always feel like I'm the world's slowest artist, but I'm one that definitely, and that's when people ask too, like, how long does it take you? Most of us don't sit down and just do a certain piece. And I mean, we wish we could, but life happens. We have lives, our jobs or whatever. So it might be an hour here or an hour there, and then 2-3 weeks later, you might be done with a piece. If you're lucky and you could do like a drawing in an hour and a half, like we saw in the very first one, that's amazing. That's amazing. But the details in this, the color, the rendering, I mean, this is so beautiful.
Well, that's Priscilla and her daughter. And like I said, I wish I had shown you the sketches because there was a lot of sketches. So what I did, John gives me the story. I do all these storyboards, which are sketches to illustrate what's going on, what the words are saying. Okay.
Right.
So I had this all mapped out when I had Priscilla and the daughter pose for me. And I told them where they needed to stand. It's like I was directing a movie. Okay. You need to, which is what the illustrators would have done. Dean Cornwell, NC Wyeth, they would take the people and move them around, even go as far as to design costumes and everything to match for their illustrations. So anyway, I knew where everything had to be. Then I found a photograph of that little stuffed animal, or that girl with that lady with the butter churn.
Right.
And I found the dog thing. But see, that all comes from a sketch before I even started any of it.
Amazing. Anyway. I love this. That's what I love about art too. And I'm so glad you guys are taking the time to look at this, because everywhere you look on this piece, and that's why I keep throwing comments up here, they're noticing wonderful little things all over this piece, from the rug, right, to, excuse me, guys, the lamps, to the glasses, to the, there's just so much detail. The woman that's churning the butter, there's just all these little moments. Look at the couch behind her. Look at the details in every little, area around here. Go ahead.
As far as composition, notice the green apples.
Mm-hmm.
And notice the contrary color, or complementary color, whatever. Well, those apples are directing you right back to her.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking you from, and bringing that. I needed something to draw you right back to the girl, so that there is no separation between the two of them.
Right. Right. Just absolutely outstanding. Absolutely.
And that chair and that lampshade were actually at John's house, the writer, because I went over there and just got ideas too. So
that is just awesome.
And that's his window too, I think, on their house that they used to live. They moved to Washington since then, but
man, just awesome. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this. You guys are rocking over there on Pilled. I'm just saying, thank you guys so much. I do see you. Oh, right. Oh, and speaking of this is like the little tea party, guys. I mean, this is what I was talking about. It's like, oh my gosh, isn't this just precious?
This is, and I wish I could remember her daughter's name. This is Priscilla and her. And this again was from a sketch. And I really wish I could send you the sketch so you could see what I was working from, because the sketch started out, you've heard of storyboards, right? I mean, they do that for movies and everything.
Right.
Yeah. So this is from my ideas, and I needed Priscilla to pose like this, and her daughter to pose like this. And this teapot, the cups I actually got at Goodwill. The teapot, where did I get that? I think I just shot photo. I think I just shot photographs of it. And anyway, and then back to the circle thing, because I was just caught on what Len Decker and Roxwell used to do with their work. So I thought I kept playing with that idea.
I love it. Isn't this great, guys? And it does, because yeah, I do. You think Rockwell, a lot of times you think Christmas, although he did so many other things besides that too. But it's something that was just honed into us, right? And I don't know where, that is such an awesome teapot. I have never seen one like that in real life, and that is so cool that you found something like that.
I thought it would attract attention. And,
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
where did I get that teapot? Now I've got to remember where I got.
Right.
I took photographs of it. I saw it somewhere at a gift store or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That just amazing. And it might have been at like a Goodwill. I mean, I love going there and finding, stuff that you're like, okay, you never know what you're going to find, at thrift stores or Goodwills or whatever. It's just one of my favorite things to go look. And I'm always finding something. We have one that's local, and I don't know where. She goes to, like these storage units that people lose or somebody died or whatever. And so next thing you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? And I'm always in love with something new. I got to stay away from that store. It can be dangerous, but it's fantastic. I'm glad you guys love this. Oh my gosh, isn't it awesome? Man.
Thank you.
And they are such beautiful girls, the mom and the daughter here, right? You did just such a nice job with them. Now, did they see these, by the way? Did you show them all the pieces you did with them?
Yeah. Now she's no longer that age. This is when she was probably about 12 years old. She actually has graduated from high school now, I think.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure she has. And this was probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Love it. Yeah. I love it.
But they saw the whole book. Yeah.
That's awesome. And he does. He has so many of these guys. This is why you got to go follow him. And this is why I asked you guys not only to share out the show, but share out each other's artwork, because don't we want as many people? And I don't care if you've got 10,000 followers or if you've got 3, we all can share each other's artwork so that we can just, first of all, totally brighten up social media. And second of all, you guys need to be famous. You all are amazing in this group. This is fantastic. And this is my first one when I highlighted you as Artist of the Day. I think it was like Valentine's, and we were looking for love. And I'm like, okay, what screams love? And I saw this one, and I go, this one absolutely screams love. And so I was like, I was hooked from there, Steve. Absolutely hooked.
Well, okay, see this one, and I see it myself too, and I'm blessed to be able to grab that emotion. That you can see the love between Priscilla and her daughter.
Right.
I mean, it's shared. It is there. And that face, look at her face. I mean, it was just like, she's lost. She's gone. She's just absorbed in that embrace. And so is her daughter. There's nothing fake about it. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I remember I asked him, see, this was done on their porch on the house in Cambria where they rented. Oh no, it's her dad's house. That's right. And so this wasn't the right background, but I said they knew what they were supposed to do, and so they just started hugging. Or I said, just hug each other, and it's just the biggest thing. One of the biggest things. There are a few things, big things. Anyway, allegories are important in art. That's what I do with my Bible scenes. I try to add as much allegory as I can to speak to the viewer, to hold their eye, to talk to them. The other thing is to display emotion, to make it real, to make it impart something to the viewer,
Right.
and not be dead. It just to be, so that they can feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. You can totally feel the emotion in this one. Not that, to take it away, but this is, like I said, this was my first introduction to Steve and his artwork when I, whoops, it's the wrong way. My first introduction to him. And I was like, oh my gosh. And of course, like, okay, I'm always looking because I have this huge Excel sheet of who, because I've got so many of you artists that I've got to highlight and making sure you all get your chance. Right. But I was like, okay, on holidays, I'm like, okay, who's got a piece? Who's got a piece? And not always do I want to do one that's just hearts and roses, and I was like, this just screamed love so much. And it was a great day to celebrate him as he had just joined.
Thanks. He said master of clothing. That
Yes.
shirt was fun because when you work with pastel, and especially how I use pastel, I use a paintbrush almost as much as the pastel itself.
Yeah.
And I'll start with the pastel pencil just to get an idea of where I'm going. And then eventually I'll brush it off and just smooth it out and then keep adding to it. And then the highlights, just hit it with that highlights right at the end, So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that flannel shirt she was actually wearing through all the pictures. And I changed the shirt on some of the other pictures. But anyway, just from what I was looking at. Anyway, the artwork.
Beautiful detail. Just beautiful. I agree. And it's just a perfect.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Right? I've got so many comments I'm trying to grab everywhere, I mean, I love it. And thank you guys so much. I am so excited when you guys are so involved in, participating here with our art nights. Thank you so much. Isn't this great? You hate to leave this piece because it's just so full of so much emotion and look at happiness, right? Just beautiful piece.
Yeah. And to think, I mean, there was nothing going on other than just asking them to hug each other. So that is totally natural. That is how they felt. There was no fake, nothing about it. Yeah.
No, isn't that just a wonderful thing to see? Just one of the most great things to see, that raw humanity, love for one another, happiness.
And see, that's the biggest thing. If I can impart that through what I can do with my hands by God's blessing, by God's gift, that if I can impart that, how important that is,
Right. And that's what you do, guys. Be the light. And you're doing it through your artwork so well.
Yeah. I mean, we're covered as far as provisions. I got enough to eat and got a roof over my head and got a wife that loves me. So,
Right. I love
the rest you're just chasing after dreams. Anyway, this picture, I kind of was running out of time. It was taking so long on this book, and John had already moved away, and I thought, oh man, he's going to think it's too late, or it's taking too long, he'll forget about it. So this I did on watercolor, Amsterdam watercolor board, and I used just a couple of blue pencils. And this is where she's having the tea party.
In this great guy.
This I got more into my head. This is like the Bible scene that I remember, the one with the Magi visited where the hands are lit up. I just got into my head and started playing around. These stuffed animals I've got sitting in the studio here, these are all, I bought them at Goodwill.
Did you?
And I would just move them around on the floor and take photographs until I got what I wanted. And then that's her daughter with holding the cake or the pot up like that. So,
oh my gosh, that is just fantastic. And I love the choice of just the blue tone in this piece, right?
Yeah. See that lantern above her head? I needed that in there compositionally because if I didn't, see how the triangle is formed there?
Right.
That's so necessary. If you ever get a chance, and one of the things when I was teaching or when I do it is look at these illustrators and analyze why they did what they did. Why is this person here? Why is this over here? Because it isn't by chance that occurred. there's figures in this piece that are there for a reason, and the reason is composition. It draws you in, whether balance, whether color. See the triangle that is separated here, or that is formed here? That's so necessary because it's pleasing to the eye. If that wasn't there, your eye would float all over the place.
Right.
That locks you into the piece. That draws you right back down to her, and then the arm.
Right. Very nice. Isn't it very nice, right? I just love it. I just love the stuffed animals, right? But there's more than that. You got the books, you got apples, you got the lamp, you got so many things that are in this piece. But I love the stuffed animals, right? They're all in this party with her besties, you know, just awesome.
Notice that white block there, right underneath the teapot and the apples.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a
Right.
block of white. I broke the plane there because what that does, that allows you to enter in.
That's funny.
If
I'd like to see real quickly what you
yeah,
guys see in that empty space, because I already have my interpretation, but I hate to say what I see because then all of a sudden everybody else will see what I see. So you guys, when you see that little empty space, I just want you to put in the chats what you guys are seeing and filling in that space with, and then I will tell you guys mine. But go ahead, Steve.
okay. So had I just make that complete, that floor complete and square,
Mm-hmm.
you are on the outside of it. You're not in it. But by
Right.
breaking the plane with that white block, you're able to enter into the piece. That's a common thing illustrators back, especially Dean Cornwell, would do. And he would also do a thing called, oh gosh, the name escapes me, word escapes me right now. Where the picture wouldn't be complete. He would just keep the main thing the main thing.
Right.
There's a term that is used and it'll come to me, but that and breaking the plane with objects and stuff like that allow you to enter in.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. And I know that you guys are on a little bit of delay here, so I'll see if anybody's got. Oh, okay. They didn't notice you were stuck on this I guess lamp. The little that's really,
Yeah.
really, isn't it really, really beautiful? I agree. Even the shadows behind the stuffies are amazing.
Oh, that
Just
was fun.
awesome. Right? I love the limited palette.
Yeah, that was fun doing the shadows behind, because that really just pulled everything right up to the front.
I think that is just beautiful. All right. Nobody wants to say, okay, everybody's just excited seeing it. Because I'm afraid that if I tell you what I see, then everybody's like, oh, okay, that's what I see too now. But we got to move on a little bit here. But immediately when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's got to be a pail for like a sandcastle, right? That's immediately what my brain went to. Is she's got a little, pail for something like when you guys are building a sand pail, right? When you're building your
Oh, I
sandcastles and
see.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Do you see that now? Now
Yeah, I
everybody's
do.
gonna see that. I'm like, that's her
Yeah.
little bucket, and her little pail. No, but that's what my brain did. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm
that's
trying to
what
think
I
what that
saw.
was. I'm trying to think what that actually was that I did that with. And now I'm trying to think of the word where you do an incomplete drawing. You leave. There's a word that's used for doing a. I'll recall. Anyway.
Oh, we do have somebody else. Blocks. Oh, you see blocks in that space. Nice. Glad. Awesome. That's the great thing, guys, that we all get to see something different. And that's, it gives you a little bit that you guys get to fill in on this piece. But the tonage on this, right, just from the grays to this beautiful blues, keeping everything in the indigo tone, I think you did a great job rendering this piece.
Yeah, I just wanted to test it. I wanted to see and just stick. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to pick up speed because there was a few pages I did that were all charcoal on
Right.
watercolor board like this. And then I did this one in the blue. Anyway.
Love it. Love it. Man, you so need to write a book. I see these.
Well,
I'm like, go ahead.
I got one that my dad did for when he met my wife. And she had lost her daughter to cancer at 7 years old. So my dad, who was a good writer, but he really wasn't. He was a meat cutter. That's what he was by trade. But he was a good writer, and he wrote this story about Elena's daughter. And anyway, it's a long. Anyway, it's about a forest thing, and she looks into this pool and knows she's dying, but the birds of the air come and fix her hair, and they do this with her and put little pieces of strawberry on her cheeks and everything and make her, yeah. So if I do another book, that'll probably be the one. But anyway, he gave me the whole story. Anyway, this was for the Princess and the Fox, the one that was never finished. And this is where they encounter their fear. And when Flo wrote the book, the biggest thing about it is once you look into your fear, you're going to realize it's not as big as you thought it was. So they look at each other, the little girl that is afraid of foxes and the fox that's afraid of little girls because they want to pull his tail. They, by looking at each other, realize that there's really nothing to be afraid of.
Right? Nope. None of that animal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Frosty. It is so, not only is it just awesome by itself, but it is. I just see these and I'm like, oh, this just really belongs. I can see me reading this to my own little kids or my students or whatever, right? Because it just invites you into the storybook, fairy tale immediately.
Can you see the heart there?
Right? Can anybody else?
Oh.
You're talking to me or the audience, Steve?
Well, no, you. Can you see that, or whoever? There is a heart in between them with that tree limb, and notice the arc right down there underneath the fox's nose, and it goes back up to her.
Right, those branches coming down in the middle is where your point or your center is, and they come around like this, and it goes down in those leaves or in a V at the bottom. That is absolutely.
And it forms a heart, yeah.
Isn't that awesome, everyone? Just love it, love it, love it. I agree, guys. I am so excited. You guys do too. Man, right? Oh, I agree. Love, love, love. It's amazing. The fox is saying, will you love me? Oh, yeah. I love that, Cask, right?
I don't know if I sent you the other picture where they start to encounter each other and they first see each other and stuff like that. But then this is there's 4 different pictures as they get to know each other. And this is as she's looking at it, and this is not, you're not so scary, she's basically saying.
Right.
And he's saying the same thing to her. You're not so scary.
Right. He's like, will you take me home?
A lot of times we can let our own fears become bigger than they actually are.
That's right. That's right.
The Lord gave me this in my Bible study time the other day was beware of the what ifs. The what ifs can be on the end of an arrow being fired at you from who knows what source. But what I'm saying is the what ifs, you don't know. You don't know. And even if they come true, these what ifs, he's going to walk you through them.
Right. That's right. A lot of times, that you have to, oh my gosh, you have to literally just go, maybe, it's all about, okay, we put that aside and we just sit there and go, we just start focusing on that because we get so stressed out,
right?
So it's really, really important to, because sometimes put that on the side, I love that. I love that. So you guys, the what ifs are going to kill you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Everybody, you guys are just awesome over there. Just amazing. I love it. I'm trying to get all of these beautiful things. And thank you, RKJ. Just fantastic. I think the next one is what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's where they first encounter each other.
That's where they first see. I guess I should have put them backwards, guys, but I didn't know the story yet.
That's where they first go, oh my God. And actually those trees, you've been to San Simeon, right? Have you ever walked out on the point?
Yes. I just
above
love
the bay?
Yes.
Anyway, that's what these trees was from that up there on the Hearst property, which they'd let you walk on it. Actually, my great uncles were all cowboys. And there used to be a bar out there, according to my great uncle, and there was where they kept. That's where where the cowboys they all stayed out there on the end of that point. And anyway, that doesn't mean anything to anything, but those trees and everything are off of that peninsula, and I think that tree that's laying down there was from there too.
Right. Just love it. Oh, you guys, isn't it beautiful? I love the softness of that too. Yeah, great point there, Molly. It's just got this beautiful softness to it. I agree. I agree.
I had fun with her hair. I was in the zone. And everything was just working, and it was just like bam, just do these swirls and everything.
Mm-hmm. How hard is it to render? That's something
What's
to
that?
get those curls accurate. Was that hard, or was it pretty easily accomplished?
If you're in the place, again, I work on a hard pencil, so I don't overcommit. By working with a hard pencil, the lines are very vague. I can always go back in and with a softer pencil and pick up the lines that I want to pick up, and don't use an eraser. Use a piece of chamois if you're going to do anything and want to remove stuff. Stay away from erasers, because every time you erase, you're tearing the paper.
Yeah.
Or whatever you're using. Anyway, because these were all done on watercolor paper, I think. Anyway, once I started to see the lines, okay, so there's a bunch of lines there, boom, 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 all over the place. Then I go back in with a softer pencil and use the ones that I want to use. And I don't need to erase the ones that are light, because you don't see them.
That's right. That's right.
They just drop back. Yeah.
I'm glad you said watercolor paper. That's what I kind of thought too, because it provides this texture. If you guys can see when you're looking at the forest and the trees, especially, has this beautiful textured, aspect to it, which is watercolor paper. So I'm really happy that you're telling us that. But right, you can see it in her dress. You can see it in the forest. It really adds to the piece as well. Very nice.
And another thing I do when I'm drawing, whatever. I use a brush too. It doesn't have to be a really good brush, but if you're using graphite or using pencil, you can move it around with that brush. You can actually pick and kind of shade it around and stuff like that. Anyway.
I love that. If you guys, artists out there, take down these tips, because I love it when artists come on and we get to learn all about these different techniques. Might be something you want to try, but we are just so happy about these pieces, aren't we? Loving them. All right. Tell us about this piece.
Okay. Her, that was when I first became a resident artist at Studios on the Park. And I had these ideas just to do these figures. And that was just, what was that? Why did I do that? Just because I felt I wanted to do something, and I like drawing. This was only the sketch. The actual piece was done in pastel colored pencil. This was just the idea. And this was from a reference, one of those sites where you can get images and stuff like that. So this was more just an exercise for me on rendering clothing and stuff like that. But yeah.
Right. She is just angelic. That's what I thought too. Just the way that they've colored this, and the way that she's got her dress coming around almost has this glow of it that just brings a sense of angelic to it, doesn't it, guys? Just beautiful. The highlights on this is amazing. Amazing.
And it was working with the,
Go ahead.
Working with the contrast and everything, but yeah.
I love that too, that that you have this almost, not a full circle behind her. I think that also adds to the fact that she's in motion. And I think that was a great choice.
That was done afterwards. And I just needed something to finish it off. So I just took a swirl like that to try to describe, because see, I'd been drawing her for so long, and I got the figure. I knew what she was doing, how her body was moving and everything. Then I just completed it with just like that.
Man, right? I know, you guys. That's a good question, Dada. He's asking a question of, have you ever like had a piece and you're not necessarily happy with, and you've like gone over it and changed it or created something new?
I mean, as far as something like this one,
Or any pieces. He's just asking a question, is like, have you ever done a piece and you know you're not so satisfied with it and you decided, oh, I'm going to go over it or redo it or create something different?
I try not to. I try just to move on,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one thing that I do battle, is this perfection thing.
Right.
And so if you're going to beat it to death, and you know, maybe put it aside for a year or two and it comes back around, maybe
Right.
then. But there's got to be a time, and I learned this from other artists that I was with when I was at the gallery. Some of the best things you can do is walk away.
Right.
Especially if you get into the zone or that place where you feel like you can't go, or you're overkilling it. You're doing too much, and you need to just back off and get away from it.
That's right.
But as far as a piece that I had an idea for and it didn't turn out like I wanted to, I would actually put it aside and start again. Nice. And maybe use part of what I did on the other piece for the new piece. Actually, that Magi picture, and I don't have a copy of the other one because it's still in the very sketch stage. But that would be the case with that. I've done 3 major pieces, all for that one point of the Magi, the visit of the Magi. And there's still 2 of them are sitting here, and one of them is going to be done.
Wow.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it does. Absolutely does. Now, a personal question for me, is that done on a different tone paper? Because that's one thing I love too, is it really can make your pieces, your drawings or whatever. If you just choose different tones, now everything has to be on white. Mm-hmm. Love it. Really. Go ahead.
It's very helpful to work on a colored paper or something like that, just to work from, because what you're doing is you're not working from white. You can add your white. You've got a middle grade that you're working from. So now you can go up and back. You can go light and dark. But if you're working on white paper, you can't get any whiter.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it just brings a richness to us, almost a sepia to the piece already.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm glad you guys are loving this one. If you love that one, you are going to love this one too. Oh my gosh. You got some love for some dancers. I'll tell you that. Maybe it's
that one. That's the best example of being in the zone. Everything I did was right.
It's a great one. I love when you talk about the zone, Steve, because I totally get that, right? And she did turn out well. All of them, all of them are absolutely phenomenal. But you're right. You could just see it. I mean, this turned out so perfectly. Now, is this from a reference? Is this a model?
Yeah, I did use a reference for this one. And again, starting out with a really hard pencil until you feel comfortable with the image, and then start to build it with a softer pencil. Or even charcoal if you want to go with that. Yeah. There was a guy that actually on X or whatever it's called, he asked me if he could do an AI thing with that. And I'm not that computer savvy, and I do understand what AI is, and I'm not really for it. But anyway, I said, sure, I just see what would happen. So he sent it back, and this girl is moving. I don't know, did I ever send you it or not?
No.
I'll send it to you, but she's moving, dancing through the air. Yeah.
I bet. I'm going to appreciate the actual piece, though. I'll tell you that because, I mean, I know the work that you've put into this, and I can already picture her dancing. That's the thing I love about art. And, all you guys that are into that, that's great. But you know what? I can visualize her already in movement. You can see that in this amazing piece, and you've captured that so wonderfully. Just
okay, beautiful. So this picture, if I were to use it to teach, this is important for negative space. The negative space will define the positive space. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The negative space, so the space in between, I'm pointing to the picture and you can't see it. The space between her legs and her arms defines You see what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It defines what the legs are.
Right.
The negative space will always define what the positive space is. If it doesn't work, if the positive space isn't correct according to the negative space, it's not going to work. Oh, and the other word that I couldn't find, illustrators would use a word, finesse. They would finesse the artwork, meaning they would only show the main part, and the rest of it would be just lines leading off to nowhere.
Right.
And Dean Cornwell was really big with that. But anyway.
Right. I know, you guys. You're lighting up. You're lighting up the chats. Isn't this beautiful, guys? I'm telling you, just absolutely amazing.
Well, it was a fun piece.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
Right. I agree. That just looks like it. Just looks like it. And it's just absolutely amazing and beautiful. I am so glad you guys, thank you so much for your wonderful compliments.
And it was fun to do those folds on the material and stuff like that. And her hair,
right?
Her hair was just a matter of just boom, just letting it go. Anyway,
right? Just fantastic, amazing. Now, speaking of fun,
okay, this is back to the princess, and this is showing that she is fearless, except for foxes. So this one was a tough one. Because I had a lot of different ideas, sketches on how to show that she is fearless. All Flo gave me, the writer of the song, was the fact that she was a princess and she was fearless. So how do I show that? Well, I put her in a castle, or close to a castle, and have her swinging from a chandelier.
That's right.
That shows you how fearless she is. And then the wine, that was fun to do. And then see how I'm pointing to the picture, and anyway. And then breaking the pottery was cool because I actually took a dish and broke it and drew it. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, I love that song too, by the way. I had to post it up. Chandelier is one of my favorite songs, guys. And I love singing that one and singing that, belting out. And everyone, I remember being with my group, with my honor society. We were on some kind of place, we were on not a field trip, but we got to go to an expo, a summit. There we go. And that song's like, oh, we can see you, Lady H, just absolutely swinging from a chandelier. Right. And I love this. This one makes me just laugh. It's fun. It is so, amazing, right? She is having the time of her life, just swinging from a chandelier, breaking everything in her path.
Yeah, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Right.
Notice the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was a common thing, especially by Dean Cornwell. If you ever get a chance to look up his work, he would break the plane, and again, that causes you to enter into the picture.
Right.
See, the chair is incomplete, so you're not seeing the finished chair or the other chair on the left-hand side. So what that does, that means you're now in the picture.
Right.
See, if that chair was complete, you're standing outside the picture. But since it's broken and you're only seeing part of it, that means you're in there.
Isn't that great? That great, guys. It's an awesome perspective, isn't it? Inviting you to be in the picture. I love it. You guys love this one, right? They're just having a great time with this one, right? Perfectly whimsical. It is so much fun. Oh, I agree. You guys, I'm getting you all using words. That's right, RKJ. That's my word. I love it. I agree. It is phenomenal. Absolutely.
And she was drawn out of my head. This was just I was in the zone, so she was just drawn out of my head.
Right.
I wanted to do what I wanted to do, so
That's what I do. Most everything comes from just the imagination, and this is so much fun, just rendered so well. Just a blast. I love the wine spilling out of the glass as well too. Isn't that great? That also helps with the motion, and they're going separate ways. You see the broken glasses, but that wine literally coming out of the glass, right, as she is coming through. It's just awesome. Absolutely awesome.
There was a lot of comic book artists were really good at doing that, like Jack Kirby and some of the older artists. They would they would do stuff like that, the broken glass and all this stuff, so it would add to the picture. But of course,
Right.
they had a day to do 3 pages too, so they were a lot more quicker than I am.
Just, yeah, that would just, a deadline like that would be like, what? There's no way,
Oh, so somebody said about the ray of light. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And I broke that too. Broke the ray of light to keep you in tune with what's going on. She's moving across. So
that's right. Just fantastic, isn't it, guys? Just completely involves you. There's so many aspects of this piece that completely invites you in and keeps you involved, right? And you've got everything, you're moving with it. It shows motion. It's just amazing. We love this. Oh, okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Now we move on to this group of images. Go ahead.
Okay, this has been a project that has gone on for not quite a year, but close to it, probably about 9 months. I got to a point to where things changed as far as money off of my artwork and stuff like that. And I left the studio where I was at and everything. And I was just kind of like wondering,
Right.
My work doesn't sell for some reason. And maybe because I'm not a good marketer, which is part of it, I know. And so it came to me what I wanted to do, what I felt like I was going to do was a Bible scene. And so I'm asking the Lord, which one? Well, I was actually in Genesis chapter 13, where Abram and Lot separate. Mm-hmm. And Lot chooses his offered, where do you want to go? And Lot chooses to go to Sodom, which is huge. I mean, huge. There's a lot of messages that are there. So that piece is 8 months into the work. It's probably one of the bigger pieces that I've done. It's 30 by 18. I'm getting closer to being finished with it. Anyway, back to him. He was one of the studies for one of the figures. That was going to be Abram. It didn't end up being, but I just was playing with it and trying to see what I wanted to do, right, how I wanted him to look and everything.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? I agree. Cosma, I agree. If you let the Lord lead you, you will do great things. Right? I totally agree.
That's what this is. I'm not testing him, but it is walk of faith. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 I'm always at that way, right? Find the path.
We'll see what comes out of it. Yeah.
That's right. I remember even, like I told you guys before, doing the Savior's statement piece that I did. I was like, what? I was like, I just made a prayer. I would like to get to know you better. He's like, you're an artist. Why don't you paint the Savior? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm all shaking, crying, all kinds of stuff. But it was an experience, and I did my best. And, but it's amazing. And he leads you in so many other ways, right? We talk about this on our Sunday show a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So I love that, Cosmo. I'm going to put this one back up here again, right? If you let the Lord lead you, you will do great things. Amen to that.
Yeah, it is. And it's a matter of being, letting him, and no longer, what word am I looking for here? To come to the end of yourself. Mm-hmm. To come to the end of yourself. And that's what I'm doing with this piece. So we'll see what comes out of it. There's two examples of testing. There'll be the Pharisees that tried to test Jesus, and he wouldn't give them a sign. But I can't remember his name in Judges. He asked God for a sign twice, and God gives him the answer on both of it. The Pharisees wanted to use the sign against Jesus, where I can't remember his name. He was one of the rulers or one of the judges back then, but God did fulfill his sign. So God, anyway, I could go on. Anyway,
I love it. Well, and then when the Savior asked for, basically a sign, he's in the the temple, right? After all
Yeah.
the money teachers, he's all angry, and he's like,
Yeah.
Father, and he's what does he say? Basically, say your name. It says, I can't think of the word right now. I just totally lost it. Glorify thyself. Thank you very much. He's like, I have glorified, and I will glorify again, and the heavens speak. So
Right.
depends
And
on
then,
who's asking him for what purpose, right?
yeah. When there was a noise actually when he said that, I think or shake or something, or there was a noise that caused everybody to freak out a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Love it.
But anyway, there's the board that I've got a folder full of sketches that I've got to reach the end result.
That's right.
Took a long time, but
you're gonna see a few, guys, because I'll tell you what, these are fantastic. Tell us about this piece.
That was when we were living in Cambria. We lived on the ranch, my family ranch, actually, in a trailer up there, which my wife will shoot me if we ever live in a trailer again. But anyway, no, not literally. But anyway, we lived up there for about 2.5 years, and we helped start one of the churches in Cambria. And I was just playing around, and this is from a reference. This is from this book that I got, which was in Germany. I think it's in Berlin, but every Easter they have the crucifixion scene, and they have these characters and all that stuff in costume. And this is one of them. And I did it just to feel comfortable, because we were living on the ranch, and my dad died of lung cancer, and he gives the trusteeship to me. It's a long story. So I was anyway, things were happening. But anyway.
Amazing. Isn't it just absolutely beautiful? Just beautiful. Love it. Amazing. Right? Again, the hair. You do great. I mean, there's so many things. I'm glad you guys are pointing out the hair, the clothing. All right. It's just a wonderful. I'm just so glad you guys are enjoying this.
Yeah, good. Good. It's just a matter of drawing what you see and just working on the contact between your hand and your eye, and getting to where once you get into the zone, it's one-on-one. And we used to have a time. I mean, I wanted to be a mechanic when I was younger. We weren't living on the ranch, but close to it. Actually, learned how to. First vehicle I ever drove was I was 13 years old. It was an old military Jeep on the ranch. Anyway, I'll go back to what I'm saying. To be running on all 8 cylinders means it's firing up where it's supposed to fire.
Right.
It was a term. So when you're doing artwork and you're on all 8 cylinders, everything's working. And that's what I mean when I say that. So
just love it. Just absolutely love it. Man, you guys, there's so many of these wonderful pieces. And I have a question before we talk about this one, because some are on like a different colored background, and some you just are having on white. Is there a certain choice? I mean, why per se did you do this one basically on white versus a colored background?
Right. This was I needed to get into that space. And I remember we were in the trailer, and we also had a shed on the back where I had my desk.
Right.
And I just needed to get lost. And I needed to make contact with something that would draw me to the Lord. And so I just started drawing. And there is a reference here to this one. So I just started to play with it and draw it and grab, stuff. Anyway.
Right. Just you're drawing what your heart is feeling.
Right. And it was on white paper because that's all I had at the time.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes you're just like, I need to create. I've had those moments.
Yeah.
I've told you guys this before too. Like when I spent 3 months in Cuba with families, literally on abroad, and I came back, and it's probably the only piece that I've ever been able to do that was a 36 by 48 in like a day or two. But
wow.
I couldn't. There's so much that were built in. I'm so happy to be back in freedom, to some extent. And so you're like, wow, and it just comes out. And there's those moments where you're sketching or you're painting or whatever that you're just so full of something inside of you that you need to grab whatever you need to do. And this is what, things like this is what comes out. Isn't this absolutely beautiful?
Yeah.
I just love this. He's like, this is the way, this is the path. Mm-hmm. Follow me. Let's go.
When I got my hair cut, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or whatever, and the girl that was cutting my hair, I actually go to this barber college because it's cheaper and they do a pretty good job. The teachers help a lot. But anyway, she saw it. I was showing them some of my artwork because we were talking, and I probably talked too much while she was cutting my hair. But anyway, I said, "Do you draw?" And she said, "Yeah, but I'm not that good." Whenever I hear that, I really come back with the, wait a minute, your drive is what makes you the artist. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the only reason you consider yourself not good is because of exercise. You've got to exercise the drive that you have, because what makes you an artist is the drive. What you do with it is your responsibility from then on. Another term that I use is there's a lot of Tom Petty's out there bagging groceries at Albertsons. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You can have the skill, and a lot of times I hear, like I heard her say, but I'm not an artist. But you are an artist because you have the desire.
That's right.
Now, are you recognized by others as an artist? Well, no, that'll come in time or may not come in time. But it's not according to how much you're paid, not according to who respects your work. What that makes you the artist. It's from inside.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And you can't tell people, you can't let people tell you if your work is good or not. If you love it and you've created it and you're happy with it, then you do you. Because I'm telling you what, I have seen some masters work up there, and I think of like Goya right off the bat.
Yeah.
And when he is literally doing his Chronos, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Right. I mean, he was a master of like this almost black velvet kind of thing, and I'll give him that. But a lot of his work is like, right. And we've seen some crazy things, even now, modern things, you're like, that's art. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't let people tell you that you're not an artist or that your work stinks. As long as you're having fun and you're creating something fully, then that's what you do.
The only thing, one of the things that I've seen is if an artist were to do a rendition of something that looks like something out in the field or something like that, and it gets bought. And people praise him for it. And he continues to do the same thing over and over and over again. There's a trouble there because basically they're not growing as an artist.
Right.
They're not doing the challenges. They're not experiencing other stuff. They're not doing other stuff. But anyway.
This is one of my absolute favorites from you.
Really?
Yes, it is.
This? Okay. We had a cat. The place we rent had a problem with feral cats. So what I did was I found that if I trapped them and took them to the animal shelter, they would neuter them on a Tuesday for a really good price and give them shots. But unfortunately, they would give the cats back to you. You had to take them back. So I dealt with probably about 13 or 14 feral cats. Okay. Because there was prop trucks around here and all that stuff, and they would actually give birth. And ferals, they just do what they do. So anyway, there was one female that was born. I called her Puff. And this cat was like a not magic. I don't believe magic. This cat was just a beautiful, beautiful cat. She was a Norwegian. I looked it up, and because of the breeds, the father, they can have one breed out of one litter. There can be 4 different breeds or whatever. Anyway, so I looked her up. She was a Norwegian forest cat, and her name was Puff. And I lifted her up, and she just melted in my arms. Took her in the house. She stayed in the house with us and became a house cat for about 2.5 years, and she died. She died. Everything just went down quick. And one of the vets was really cruel. He said, "Oh, you just got a lemon on that one," which was really cruel. Anyway, so I'm feeling these emotions. So that's when I did this picture.
Okay. What does it say underneath it? Life is with God is.
I don't. I have to find it.
Yeah, what I saw, I was like, life with God is not
Life with God is
something
not.
from, but of peace.
Oh, okay. Life with God is not shelter from troubles, but from peace. Peace will carry you through. It kind of goes on to the format of Noah going right, and the children of Israel going right to the Red Sea, remember? And they've got the Red Sea in front of them. They got the Pharaoh's army behind them. And God didn't take them over the Red Sea. He led them through it. And any trials we go through life, and I think that's what I was saying there. He's not going to take you over the trials. He'll walk you through them.
Right. Right.
Anyway, so that's kind of where I was at. I was really hurting because she died, and she had been such a part of our life, me and my wife's life for those 2.5 years. And so I did this picture, and this is Peter. No, was it Peter or Judas walking away from Jesus?
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. I don't recall.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, thank you for that, because I felt it was like a mistake. I was just feeling it was just total emotions that I was doing. I just needed to draw something to get out of myself, and
absolutely love it.
I was just playing around on that one.
Right.
There was some photo reference. There was a couple of references that I had but I just kind of put them all together and played with them and stuff like that.
Right. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. All right. We are down to our last few. That was one of us. Down to our last 3. And I always save some of my favorites for the last. That was one of them for sure. The one we just saw. But this one is so unique.
Thank you.
I was like, right? I'm like, this is just so unique. I was like, what? There's so much going on in this piece. I love this. Go ahead.
I got asked to do the gallery in Paso Robles that I used to be a member of. I was asked to participate, or if I wanted to participate in this auction thing they were doing of Valentine's stuff.
Okay.
And I said, okay. And so I did. And this was my Valentine's Day piece. This was on a piece of birch, and it was small. I think it was only like 6 by 8 or 8 by 10, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. And this, I experimented with using acrylic ink with gouache.
Another medium I haven't tried yet.
I would color the gouache, and I used clear gouache and everything on it. And this is my Valentine's Day. So basically what I'm saying is, I won't go into deep, hopefully the piece speaks for itself, but that, just a lot of allegories there.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, it is.
But I had fun. I had fun with the brown, bringing the brown down, and
it is very cool. I knew you guys would like this one. Isn't it awesome? I mean, it's hard to even pick a favorite. I know you guys are always, I've warned you and I've taught you guys well. It's amazing. It is very cool, Dada. Love it. Dada.
It was just, I don't know. I just had fun with it. I just played around with it. Because, a heart is always for Valentine's Day. Well, this one's got an arrow piercing right straight through it. Right. And a blue rose. I found out that a blue rose meant something, and now I forgot what it means. But there is a meaning to a blue rose. But I did it just, yeah.
We have a question here. Is that Cupid's arrow or something else?
Something else.
I don't know if you want to say that, but it's something else, guys. A blue rose symbolizes mystery, the unattainable, and uniqueness.
Yeah,
that's what I looked up.
Yeah.
So
go
ahead.
As far as, there was a time where I was basing my success as an artist, how much if I was making any money, and the Lord's taken me past that. So maybe that has part of it,
Right. Right. And who's the woman in the back?
What's that?
The woman in the back?
Oh, that?
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I just needed to throw something in there. Yeah. Nothing in
Love it.
particular.
That's right. It is a one
Yeah.
of a kind piece. I agree,
Yeah.
guys. So vibrant, so beautiful. And
The reason,
obviously, go ahead.
the reason I added her was to break the plane where the arrow's going through and to kind of show a little bit of balance. It may seem like it's imbalanced, but not really. If you look over on the right hand, notice a clear spot over there. So
Mm-hmm.
that gives it kind of balance.
Right. Right. Just fantastic. Fantastic. Can also blue rose can also mean deep admiration. Just it's got all this, but I don't know what it means to you. I mean, sometimes it can always mean something means something personal. This one, as you can tell, is very personal to our artist tonight. Right? I just love that. Amazing. Great unity. I agree, Molly. I agree.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun piece because it taught me a lot of stuff as far as working with gesso and to color it and to do stuff like that, to drop that in the background. And there was a lot of fixative or not fixative, frisket and everything that I used to be able to paint over top of it and then add on to it and underneath. That picture just kind of grew on its own. Because remember back to comic book days and all that stuff. So there's a little bit of comic book stuff there. Anyway.
Love it. Just love it. We are excited. Our last piece, always usually finish with our promo one. This just made me smile so much. Right? I mean, this is awesome. I don't know if he's on a swing or a jungle gym or whatever he might be. I love that he's upside down. This is so awesome.
That was actually, I was just getting used to not pastels, but I was just getting used to combining pastels with colored pencils. And I think I invested in some different type of pastel pencils that are a little bit more intense. Mm-hmm. And I believe that was part of that. That began as a sketch on a board, and then I just filled it in and just built it up.
I love it. Isn't this awesome, guys? It's just so much fun. Isn't this awesome? I'm just trying to grab what you guys are saying. I just think it's so much fun. And it's always hard to pick, but I thought that this one would grab a lot of people's attention because it was just so much fun. So much fun. Let's see what you guys are saying, right? Oh, yes, exactly. And how many of us have done this, right? How many of us has done this? It brings you back to a point of childhood where we're just having fun, we're playing, we're swinging upside down, whatever we're doing with big, huge smile on our face. I agree. I think a lot of us, you can see them giggling. Exactly. And it's just a really fun piece. I'm glad you guys are seeing that, bringing back a little bit of our childhood in us. I absolutely think it's great. The gravity is amazing, right? With the hair, and awesome.
And that one actually has become used for a lot of stuff. It was just a fun piece. I was just playing around. I was experimenting with those new colored pencils and pastel pencils to see what they would do, and this came out of it. So
right. Everyone's loving this. Right, guys, definitely need to have fun with your work. Exactly, Molly, bringing back some innocence, some play, some fun, giggling. And I just thought this was a great thing. And obviously it caught a lot of people's attention over there on X. I was real excited about that because I think it's just something that innocence, that play, that fun, and also takes us back to a time that we can all remember when when we did play outside in our different generations, right? And just the fun. Look at that. The hair, the smile, the giggling. It could be an ad. I like that, Salty. It could be an ad, right?
Maybe I don't know.
Right? Who knows? But this is just lovely, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. Joyful. I like that word too. Everybody's remembering.
That's big because joy is not happiness. Happiness but joy is not dependent on circumstances. Joy is internal. Happiness depends on circumstances.
Right. right? It is great. I love that you looked at the gravity of the hair. I think that is great, Donna. You got a good eye for that. Right, again, yeah. His hair, just so much fun. Doesn't it make you all want to? I don't know. I'm sure every single one of you guys are thinking about your childhood right now and the times that we had drinking from the hoses, swinging from upside down, playing on the streets, getting our knees all nicked, all these fun things, that we all remember. This piece just brings us that flashback. At least it does for me. And I see from you guys, they're doing the exact same thing. A wonderful memory. I thought this was perfect to leave on tonight because I want you guys to have that utter joy and happiness in your memories of life, right? Be that light. We started with amazing pieces. I love that light that was in his hand to something joyful and happy. And I think this is great, Steve. You are a phenomenal artist, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he's blessed me with being able to do that. So, but I think we all have that if we devote enough time to the exercise, but yeah. Just from hearing what you guys said about this piece, it's a success then because it's embarking an emotion that I want to do, what I want to show through there,
That's right. Just
and
amazing.
Like I said, the Lord's really been working me on avoiding the what ifs, it's not for me to know. You got 12 hours and that's it. So spend that time in there,
Right. And that is just great. I agree. He did really, really well on this. Just fantastic. Love that. So much fun. So much fun. All right. Any last words of wisdom here? Right? Yes. Such a gift to see your beautiful work. Aren't we so lucky to have him in our wonderful artist corner?
Oh, Thank you.
Right? What a treasure. I don't know. I'm so glad that somehow the algorithm found you and we got you in here because you guys, that's why I tell you to join the artist corner so that you can see all this amazing beauty and talent. Help share it out. That would be great if you guys ever help me. And then when you guys come on the show, it just rocks my world. It's such an honor to have all of you, amazing artists in all your forms come on. But anything that you want to share on the way out?
Me?
You.
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of talking as far as
I know tips.
It's life is simple. I think we make it a lot more complex than it has to be because we don't know what's going to be tomorrow. But stay in the now. I begin my morning ever since I came to have a relationship with Jesus, and I was actually over 40 years old when it happened. But I spend time in his word, probably the first half hour, maybe 45 minutes. And it begins the day. And I don't know.
It's so important.
Yeah. Yeah. It sets your whole, don't go past today. And that's something we're all going to do. It's going to happen to all of us. But stay in the moment, stay in the now, and enjoy where you're at.
That's right.
Regardless of conditions, circumstances. When and I've got other Bible scenes I want to do, but one is where Moses encounters whether that was the Christophany of Jesus or that was actually the Father. And he said, "Who do I say that you are?" And he says, "Tell them I am the I am, the one in the continual now." And that's so important because the past we can't change, the future we don't know, but we are in the now. And I'm not talking some sort of metaphysical whatever, but I'm just talking about the fact that the one that loves us so much, that is him. So we're going to remain with him there in the now. So if that makes sense, I don't know.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. I think, it's really important, because times can get crazy, everyone. And, that's all there. But the most important thing we can do is get really close to the Lord, you know, and just be very grateful for the Savior, all that he has done for us. And so I think that's great. Great way to start your day. And then when you get on social media, great way to go is go look at the beauty, because we're all given these amazing talents, whether it's music or it's painting or drawing or sculpture or photography or poetry or whatever we are creating, woodworking, gardening. I mean, I don't know, but right. And to see that and share that, you know, and go do it. Right.
Yeah.
To really relish in those wonderful gifts we're given. I think that is really what helps us live and make life so worthwhile. Right. I agree.
And it
Awesome.
imparts it to others too, to other people.
That's right. Right. Yeah. Be the light. Share the light. That's why I love this
Mm-hmm.
community. I love this. I am so grateful that you came on tonight. I am so excited.
Well, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure.
I got to be more involved. I got to figure out how to do it. Like I said, I'm not that computer, but I'm getting better. But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. And we can always help, you know, there's so many of us here too, but you know, it's like whenever I put out the theme for the day, I usually throw it in the comments, and that's a great way for me to see it and share it out. You know, and that's another reason why I would say at the very end, you guys got to follow me. You might be missing some of this artwork, but you know, we love it. And you know, you're so active in our group, and you just, like I said, you guys, he came to Artist Corner on X and just came like, you know, a steamroller. Is like, here we are, look at my work. And I'm like, woohoo, who is this guy? So I can't wait. We'll have you come back in, you know, 2 or 3 months. And I'm sure we'll have a whole nother set. It'd be awesome to have you back.
Well, hopefully that piece will be done, and I'll take you through the whole process of that. I've got folders of sketches and everything to build to this piece. But yeah.
Love it. Like, there's a lot that we didn't even get to see, guys. So there is so much more that we can share with you. And I am so excited. Well, Steve, I hope you have a great night and a great weekend. And I will definitely see you in the Artist Corner and online, and I'll reach out. But you guys, make sure you go give him a follow, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being our guest tonight.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
All right. All right.
That was awesome. Absolutely awesome, guys. So I just wanted to do a little thing. So much is going on in the scenes, and I am doing a major copy and paste like crazy over here with all 4 channels. You guys have been rocking that. And so, you know, like I said, my word is phenomenal. I love that. And that's what I truly believe in, you guys. And so JJ, like I said, he made the greatest video for, I don't know if it's for me, probably, that's what he says. So I said, I'm going to share this because this is a huge shout out to all the people who supported tonight, all my wonderful viewers who were here tonight. I thank you guys so much. I think all of you are amazing and phenomenal. And thank you guys for being here, supporting me, likes, shares, comments, being interactive. The support you guys gave me, amazing. Everybody is absolutely, I cannot tell you how grateful I am. So let's check out this video. It's called Phenomenal. 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 Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. But that's what I think. I just love you. You guys are awesome. I don't know how to thank you. Oh my gosh. RKJ gifting me another phone over there. You guys are just crazy. Going on fire over there. Absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much. Pilled, you guys are just unbelievable. Love it. JJ kicking out a wonderful gift of a sub today. Isn't that too cute? I love it. I know, Pilled viewers gifting shades, cans, phones galore. I know, Frosty. I am so grateful for that. And thank you also, JJ, not only for all that you do with these amazing videos you create for me. You know, he's also over here giving out gift subs, you guys. So I think Cosma got that. So thank you so much for doing that as well. But I'll tell you what, I truly have the best viewers. I mean, the best community. We are going to talk about this tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to kind of go back to some basics. We're going to talk about how to make our basics, our butter, our sour creams, our condiments. And I've got a great video we're going to watch from, I just love Dr. Clement's stuff. And this one just really inspired me really inspired me. So tomorrow we're going to just, we're going to feed your body and feed your soul. I'll be putting out that promo as soon as I'm done with this. Love to have you guys come and join us tomorrow. That's at 7 p.m. if you can join us. I'll be putting out the promo, like I said, right after this show. But I think you guys are amazing. We talk about community a lot. And it's important to me because I'll tell you, that's what I keep hearing when God's like, hey, you got to do a podcast. You got to tell your story. You got to do all these kind of things, and build a community. So we've got the Artist Corner that's growing on Truth, and then now on X, and then now on Pilled, right? And the community that we're building here on this show with all of you guys in this chat. I am just so honored and so blessed by each and every one of you. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. You guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, your personal favorites, my peanut butter cups. Yes. That was from the Muppet song, right? It was Molly. I love that song too. Absolutely love it. So you guys, I guess the greatest thing that you could do to find out about my shows and all this kind of stuff, please give me a follow. You can follow me on X. On X, by the way, I have 2 or 3 different things. So if I'm following you on 2 different, like Lady Hamilton AR1 and Lady Hamilton Art, those are both me. That's not a spam account. So, you guys just know that I have it. And then I have Artist Corner TS. So multiple ways to get a hold of me on X, but we're live streaming right now. My biggest platform on X is Lady Hamilton AR1. So thank you for following me there. But like I said, you can follow me also on X, Truth, Pilled, Gabbed, Lady Hamilton Art. You can go check out some of my artwork on ladyhamiltonart.com. That is my name, right? I love that. And we are also streaming right now on YouTube for our artists to get as much as I can out there for them on 4 channels tonight. So that's Lady Hamilton HH. You guys can subscribe right there for free. I appreciate that as well. I'm just trying to get as many platforms as I possibly can for my artists so they get as much exposure. That's why I asked you guys so much. Please share out the show, or please share out the artwork, or both. Because, these guests, they're all so talented. I just want everybody to see them, and I want them to sell their art and get their names out there. And I thank you, each and every one of you, for helping me do that. Love it. Love it. So let's give some love to these guys. You guys are already thinking them in the chats. You guys are great. I love my team. My moderators rock. I love them so much. I even have a little picture for them. My moderators rock. Huge shout out to my mods. They are truly the best. Starting with the amazing JJRSVL. And that's where that phenomenal. You guys got to check out his Rumble channel. It's got so many great things. Right? So you guys, please give him a follow on Truth, X, Gab, Pilled, Getter, Rumble. Absolutely love it. We got our amazing Tri-Stater that you can follow on X and on Truth. Our beautiful Nancy. Let's give her some love as well. You guys can follow her on Truth and on X. And the amazing Frosty Pimp. Man, he is all over the place tonight. Him and JJ. Thank you, Frosty, for handling things for me and being a part of the chat. You guys helping me to make this show rock with all that you do and being a part of the amazing conversations. Means the world to me. So you guys give them some love as well. We are going to be leaving. I have been really on him with Mike Tice, the Mike Tice band. Just really love this song. And I wanted to leave with this tonight. And so everybody, I hope I can see everybody tomorrow for my wonderful show, The Reset Kitchen, where we feed your body and feed your soul. And we are going to be leaving with this great song on our way out tonight. So thank you, everybody. Don't forget to hit those likes, follows, and shares. Thank you for all of your support tonight. You guys are truly the best. I hope you have a beautiful night. I hope it's a blessed night, right? Oops, I'm loading up the wrong thing. I hope you go out there and be the light, right? And all these wonderful things. You guys have a fantastic Saturday, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. All right, guys. Good night and be blessed.
It makes no sense, don't you know? The street I'm on, call my home. I play each day for $1 here, $1 there. street I'm on, I call my home. People pass me by, they're living their lives. They keep their fortress safe and sound. Can't bear to look them in the eyes. Can't bring themselves to turn around. Solitary, yeah, simple-minded. I keep playing through this life. Situation normal, I search the night lights, the street I'm on, I call my home. Got no special place to go. Got no roof, got no home. No fancy cars, no fancy women. Ain't got no documents to show. It makes no sense, don't you know? The street I'm on, I call my home. I play each day for $1 here, $1 there. The street I'm on, I call my home. Solitary, yeah, simple-minded. I keep playing through this life. Situation normal, I search the night lights, the street I'm on, I call my home. Solitary and simple-minded, I keep playing through this life. Situation normal, I search the night lights, the street I'm on, I call my home.
Satellite coming down in 3,